Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 414 based on novel. So let's start. Titan Giant. No, this is probably a giant titan who is still in its infancy. Hearing Xiao Yang's voice, Zuna also raised her beautiful eyes and looked at the terrifying big guy in front of her. She couldn't help but muttered. The three overlords of the Titan family, the Emperor Titan, the Titan Giant, and the Titan Mammoth, are the representatives of the power of the world of Warcraft, and they are like real giants. Even if this guy is only in his infancy now, I am afraid it is extremely difficult to deal with. After all, the Titan Giant is known for its strength. One punch and one kick is enough to shatter mountains and the earth, and has the terrifying power of destroying the world. This guy is more powerful than Titan. Mammoths are more powerful, Xiao Yang said suspiciously. The giant titan violently bombarded his chest with both hands, and a deafening roar filled with countless sound waves attacked Xiao Yang and the two brothers. Xiao Yang, wait, it doesn't seem to be malicious. Just when Xiao Yang was about to start, Zuna couldn't help but speak out. With the power of the reincarnation seal, Zuna has a more thorough sense of the mood changes of the titans. It seems that its target is this young man in his hands. What's the matter? Xiao Yang wondered in his heart, and before he could make any move, he suddenly saw a giant titan rushing towards him in the distance. In addition to the thick silver hair on his arms, there was also and beautiful giant rock lines. Those lines are like the most perfect masterpieces of the gods. However, Xiao Yang knows that the natural power of the Titan Giant is probably closely related to this kind of lines. The Titan Giant just came to Xiao Yang and bypassed Xiao Yang. Obviously Xiao Yang also gave it a dangerous aura, and immediately squatted down with his feet bent, his huge fingers stretched out to face Zuna behind him. The medicine stone goes back to the point. What's the situation? Xiao Yang was at a loss when he saw this. The things here are probably related to him. Brother Xiao Yang, look. At this time, Zuna looked at Xiao Yang innocently, waiting for Xiao Yang's actions. Give it to it. Xiao Yang nodded, but the whole body's strength was ready to be released at any time. Once the Titan Giant had any wrongdoing, he would immediately take action. Zuna used her holy flame to slowly drag the unconscious medicine stone back, and then quietly landed on the palm of the giant titan. Boom! As soon as the giant titan returned from catching the medicine stone, his whole body shook with excitement, the ground shook, and the entire valley trembled. After a short while, Yaro Shiguiju's clothes shattered directly, and faint blood-colored lines slowly emerged. Is this the divine power pattern of the titans? How can this medicine stone have the divine power lines of the titans? This kind of pattern is the representative of the power of the Titan. At this time, Xiao Yang couldn't help but envied. The representative of the power of the Titan, this mysterious pattern undoubtedly occupies an extremely important part. According to Xiao Yang's guess, at least it is at the level that can be used as the first transformation of his own dragon god. The Titan Giant in its infancy was cheering, and there were also mysterious patterns on its body, which were perfectly integrated with the power of Yaro Shigui. After a while, a bolt of lightning-like energy was injected into the medicine stone and returned to the body. Suddenly, the Titan's body trembled slightly, and in the blink of an eye, its body disintegrated, turned into pieces of rock that fell off, and crawls quietly in this valley. That feeling is not that the Titans have fallen, but that they remain here in a very special way. This is. Seeing this, Zuna, who has always been well informed, was also puzzled. According to ancient books, this should be the method of evolution of the Titans. Titan giants are powered by mountains, rivers, rocks, and rivers, and their evolution is naturally different. Perhaps soon, this young guy will enter adulthood, and its strength will skyrocket from today's 7-star fighting immortal to the real 8 stars. List. If it is expected to evolve into the legendary golden-wheeled Titan Giant, I'm afraid that kind of power is comparable to the reincarnation of human beings. Xiao Yang rubbed Zuna's little head and said with a doting face, "Are you all right?" With the disappearance of the giant titan, Yaro Shigui twisted around, the brilliance on his body gradually disappeared, and there were faint signs of awakening. Xiao Yang rushed into the air and rescued him. "Big brother, I'm fine, just now I remember that there seems to be a big guy." Yaro Shigui tried to recall. "That's the titan. It should have a lot of connections with you." Xiao Yang didn't hide it, he said directly. "Above, there are some treasures for you. The big guy just gave me some precious things. It can slowly open the power in my body. I may have to retreat here." Yaro Shigui said in a particularly solemn voice. Since you're going to retreat, why don't I give you a good thing? Well, this thing is for you. Xiao Yang gently took out the Fengzi Yarodan he had refined, and immediately handed the medicine stone to Gui. This is the Fengzi Yarodan at the pinnacle of the 6th grade heavenly rank. Big brother, this thing is too precious, I can't take it. Yaro Shigui looked in his eyes and hurriedly declined. Although he was not an alchemist, but because he had been in the medicine family for a long time, he naturally knew the value of this level of medicine is not measurable by money. You and I are destined, so I gave it to you. If you think it's so inappropriate, then if I have any difficulties in the future, just help me back. Xiao Yang smiled casually. Obviously such a precious medicinal pill in the eyes of ordinary people is not worth mentioning in his eyes. Well, thank you, big brother. At this moment, a warm current slowly emerged in Yaro Shigue's heart. Just now, relying on this medicine pill and the things just given by the giant titan, he was able to completely crack the secrets in his body. I have retreated. As a return gift, the cloud-grey light cluster above the valley will be given to my big brother. After Yuroshigi finished speaking, a layer of silver rocks slowly emerged around his body, and soon he was about to transform his body and the rocks below the giant titan. Linked together, it is obvious that he has entered a deep retreat, but with such a terrifying help, I am afraid that the next time he leaves the retreat, this guy's body will undergo a qualitative leap. What exactly is in this place? After settling down, Xiao Yang and Zuna joined hands and walked towards the grey light above the cumulus clouds. The two just came to the top of the cumulus cloud beside the grey light, and a wave of depression passed out. Among them, the dragon in Xiao Yang's body suddenly boiled, and it seemed that the thing in front of him had a fatal attraction to it. This is an ancient dragon origin blood crystal. After the blink of an eye, with the release of Xiao Yang's soul power, when the perception feedback came back, in the hazy light mass, a breath as vast as a sea-like abyss, slowly paving the way. Ancient Longyuan blood crystal? Zuna looked at Xiao Yang with picturesque brows, and looked at Xiao Yang with a little surprise. With her tyrannical strength and perception, naturally from the grey cloud on the rocky area of the Stromato cloud in the valley, smelled a very oppressive breath. To be able to make Zuna, who is as tyrannical as the 8-star fighting fairy in the middle stage, produce such terrifying fluctuations, the things in this grey light group are absolutely extraordinary. This is a good thing. I'm worried that I don't have the opportunity to cultivate in the 4th dragon ***** transformation in my body. I didn't expect that this time, God would really help me. Xiao Yang nodded with a smile, his eyes became hot, and he couldn't help it. Gearing up, his body moved instantly and stepped into the rocky area of the stratus cloud. This thing, to put it bluntly, is a spa containing the blood of the dragon family. The dragon family is the top-level existence in the world. Their bones, blood essence and blood are ingenious for human beings, but because of their lofty status therefore, after the fall of each dragon clan, the strong ones in the clan will take action to take it back into the clan, and with their arrogance, it is impossible for the blood and essence of the dragon clan to be left in the great thousand world and be trampled by other creatures. However, this crystal is extremely mysterious. Its material is extremely strong. In addition, it grows in the volcanic lava for thousands of years and is poured by countless molten flames. It is formed in thousands of years and cultivated in 10,000 years. I have to guess. I am afraid that these crystal blocks were attracted by some dying dragon powerhouses when they gathered spiritual wisdom, and rashly devoured the power and blood of the dragon powerhouses, causing some rare mutations to build such rare treasures. This kind of crystal block can retain and store dragon blood for a long time, which is a treasure for some strong people who practice dragon martial arts or rely on dragon blood. Xiao Yang could not contain his enthusiasm, and he continued to talk. Speak up. With a sound, flames rose from Xiao Yang's body, gently dissipating the grey mist covering the ancient dragon source crystal, and suddenly a few purple crystals resembling the shape of a dragon emerged. 1, 2, 3, $3. Moreover, the material is close to perfect, and there is the blood power of the orthodox dragon race inside. With a glance, Xiao Yang couldn't help but click his tongue secretly. His luck was too good, right? There are obviously a lot of tyrannical restrictions around the crystal, but Xiao Yanxiu has the dragon god transformation. These restrictions are naturally not worth mentioning to Xiao Yang. Zuna, there are still 2 days before the auction starts. Wait for me 1 day. I will successfully cultivate the 4th transformation of the dragon here, and we will leave here. Xiao Yang was quite excited, and after he finished speaking, he gently divided the rule. A piece of dragon origin crystal slowly began the cultivation of the fourth transformation of the dragon god transformation. Humph! What an idiot! I look much better than these two broken crystals. Seeing Xiao Yang like this, Zuna was both relieved and angry, the little tiger teeth buzzing like a witch who eats people, generally evil and charming, but the remaining two ancient dragon source crystals were carefully put away by Zuna and temporarily kept for Xiao Yang, waiting for Xiao Yang to successfully cultivate and hand them over to him. The Shengyuan dragon origin crystal is shaped like a miniature dragon, about the size of a few palms, but the extremely obvious blood color on the crystal contains some kind of unrivaled terrifying power. That is the blood power of the exclusive dragon family. Moreover, if there is no dragon breath to attract, if you open the crystal block rashly, I am afraid that it will be cleaned up by backlash, and there will be no corpses. After doing all this, Zuna was slightly vigilant around the valley, waiting for Xiao Yang's success, but Zuna was a few dozen meters away from Xiao Yang and found a high platform to sit down, her flawless feet swaying slightly, quite beautiful. The first transformation of the dragon god tempered the body, the second transformation into the dragon's might, the third transformation into the dragon arm, and the scales of the underlord. I don't know what this fourth transformation will be. Long Yuan Jing was held in Xiao Yang's hand. Suddenly, warm currents slowly flowed over Long Yuan Jing, apparently attracted by the dragon aura in Xiao Yang's body. Through the existence of the Dragon Blood Emperor, Xiao Yang already knew that the fifth transformation of the Dragon God transformation was the Dragon God Claw, but he had some expectations for the fourth transformation. Under the claws of the Dragon God, all things are annihilated, but the Dragon God transformation can only be cultivated one by one, so there is no need to worry. Dragon God transformation, fourth transformation. The body is tempered with the blood of the dragon family, combined with the first three transformations of the Dragon God. Make your body as tyrannical as a dragon clan, and after the fourth transformation, the body has unpredictable terrifying power. With the existence of this ancient dragon source spar, Xiao Yang's soul power penetrated into the body, and slowly probed. The cultivation root of the fourth transformation of the dragon god transformation, the ancient Sanskrit sounds filled Xiao Yang's mind. There is no specific explanation. It's strange. Forget it, it's more important to do business. Break it for me. In an instant, Xiao Yang couldn't help being overjoyed, and the dazzling amber holy flames rushed out, slowly burning Long Yuan Jing. However, the firmness of the ancient dragon source spar even exceeded Xiao Yang's estimation. Even if it was quenched and burned with the source of holy flame, it took a full 6 hours to loosen it. The power of burning, I am afraid it will take a few days. If it is an ordinary flame, it seems to take more than a few months. It started. After 6 hours, Xiao Yang's breath returned to its peak, and his eyes were very solemn, and he slowly stared at Long Yuan Jing. Long Yuan Jing was scorched and opened, and suddenly turned into a fiery red energy dragon, quietly crawling in front of Xiao Yang. Even so, Xiao Yang felt heart palpitations. The more tyrannical the force, the greater the price that needs to be paid. Boom! With a sound, the dazzling suction force emerged from Xiao Yang's body. Immediately, he inhaled the energy dragon containing the essence of dragon blood into his body and began to temper it. Wong buzzing. The energy dragon just arrived on Xiao Yang's skin, and before it entered the body, a miserable roar suddenly emerged. Although the fourth transformation of the Dragon God transformation now requires dragon blood tempering, it is completely different from the tempering of the first transformation. If it is said that the tempering of the first transformation is only on the body and skin, it is difficult that the tempering of the fourth transformation is derived from the soul and penetrates into the bone marrow and limbs. The pain cannot help but numb people. Those who are not firm, I am afraid it is easy to go crazy and get lost. Brother Xiao Yang. Seeing Xiao Yang's body fiery red and a fiery red energy dragon jumping up and down his body, Zuna couldn't help clenching her slender hand tightly, her tone solemn. No need. Seemingly aware that Zuna was about to make a move, Xiao Yang suddenly forced a smile and said with a smile, his body was tense, his hair stood up, and a drop of sweat kept dripping down. Hey! After a few minutes, the rare roar and torture slowly disappeared, and Xiao Yang's body swept out of the supreme dragon domineering, and his body, which was also a human body from the beginning, unexpectedly met for a while. Become a human being, a ghost or a ghost. That kind of appearance is extremely appalling, and the body is actually half human and half dragon. Boom. In an instant, in the entire valley, bursts of suffocating and terrifying power swept out from Xiao Yang's body, and finally, under Xiao Yang's deadly stalemate, the tempering was completed with a thud. Brother Xiao Yang, who are you? Seeing the aftermath of an explosion appearing all over Xiao Yang's body, Zuna hurriedly got up, the hot golden crow-shaped flame possessed her body, and went towards Xiao Yang's place. The fog was expelled away, and after taking a good breath, he looked at Xiao Yang, who was not a human being, a dragon, and couldn't help but smile. "What's the matter?" Xiao Yang couldn't help muttering as he looked at Xuna's strange expression that forced him not to laugh. "I have just clearly tempered the body with the power in the dragon origin crystal. Whether it is the body, limbs, or even the soul, I have received a new baptism. More importantly, the fourth transformation of the dragon god has been in the explosion just now. Among them, the practice was successful. This is the fourth transformation of the dragon god transformation. Half-dragon transformation?" Xuna waved his hand, and a space mirror appeared in front of Xiao Yang, perfectly reflecting Xiao Yang's current body condition in Xiao Yang's line of sight. Xiao Yang couldn't help being surprised. "This is..." Xiao Yang raised his head and looked at the mirror. He looked at his body through the realm. Above the body, the boundary between the eyebrows was separated from the left and right. From top to bottom, the body was perfectly divided. The left arm, the left body between the eyebrows, suddenly protected layers of thick dragon scales. Whether it was the skin or the cyan dragon scales, there was an invisibly terrifying sense of power. This cyan dragon scale is naturally the scale of the tyrant. With the blood of the orthodox dragon family, Xiao Yang also transformed the scale of the tyrant into his own half. Although it cannot be compared with the real tyrant, with this half-dragon-like body, even some powerhouses who have just entered the 8-star Dozyan early stage cannot cause any damage to Xiao Yang through the dragon scale. This is one of the benefits of half-dragonization, a huge increase in defense. A series of bodies such as the left arm, left foot, etc., all turned into dragons. The physical quality and strength are far from being comparable to the original. However, taking the corner between the eyebrows as the boundary, Xiao Yang's right side is human-like, and the strength is exactly the same as before. "Xuna, try to attack me with all your strength." Although this appearance is extremely ugly and even awkward, Xiao Yang can feel the huge improvement brought by the fourth transformation of the dragon god and the half-dragon transformation. Even if it is only a mere half-dragon transformation, is a great help to Xiao Yang today. No matter the strength, the tyrannical degree of the body, or even the strength, it is more than several times more tyrannical than the third transformation of the dragon god transformation. Ancient mirror. Xuna nodded sweetly, a golden flame flickered in her beautiful eyes, and suddenly a golden prism wrapped in golden flame suddenly appeared. Xiao Yang blasted away, and there were waves of terrifying energy ripples along the way. Clang! Xiao Yang didn't use any vindictive energy, his half-dragon transformed left arm suddenly lifted up, the cyan scales covered his fist, and blasted out against the golden prism. In an instant, the void trembled. Xiao Yang's prism was directly shattered by Xiao Yang's punch. On the other hand, Xiao Yang was not injured. Even on the dragon fist covered by the scales of tyrant, a monstrous fighting intent emerged. Brother Xiao Yang is really... Seeing this scene, Xuna couldn't help but curled her lips and said, although she didn't use all her strength in the attack just now, but with her strength in the middle stage of 8-star fighting immortals, even a simple blow would be enough. It is definitely not something that an ordinary 7-star powerhouse can intercept. Go all out, I want to see where the limit of my half-dragon transformation is. Xiao Yang waved his fists a few times. After familiarizing himself with the changes in his body and the extremely terrifying power after half-dragon transformation, he faced the Xuna said. "Oh." Xuna heard the words and was relieved. Immediately, her breath slowly changed, and suddenly she changed from a cute girl to a divine fairy in the sky, and all the terrifying and proud flames emerged. Out. Golden crow shines the sun. Looking at the terrifying dragon scales on Xiao Yang's body, Xuna also had no worries, urging the holy flame crystals in the body, the terrifying holy flame fire and the pure fighting spirit in the body slowly poured out. In an instant, a golden crow with a size of several tens of meters condensed in this valley. The golden crow had just emerged, and a fierce oppression made Xiao Yang feel like a great enemy, but Xiao Yang had no fear, because he clearly noticed that it seemed that Xuna's attack of this level had caused his body to be damaged. Blood boiled. Those blood are definitely not the blood of the descendants of the Xiao clan, but they possess a trace of dragon energy after cultivating the dragon god transformation. Dragon chi, this is a kind of ethereal thing, which is preserved due to Xiao Yang absorbing dragon blood. It is more like a symbol of dragon clan status. It is proud and roaring. It seems that because of the strong enemy, it is preserved in Xiao. The dragon spirit in Yang's body was completely ignited, and a majestic and monstrous battle was as magnificent as the vast universe. Brother Xiao Yang has to be careful. This is the power of the source of the holy flame, the power of the golden crow. Even the real 8-star fighting immortal late stage will not give in too much. Go. Zana reminded softly. A drop of golden liquid flickered in her slender hand, and immediately waved towards Xiao Yang. Boom. The void shattered, and countless flames followed, and the golden crow, Yang Ting, descended like a strong man who had been in a high position for a long time. The endless divine aura suppressed everything. It's good to come. Half-dragon transformation. The scales of domination. Seeing such a terrifying attack, Xiao Yang's body's fire-type fighting core squirmed. The dragon god became violently moving, and a frantic roar emerged. As Xiao Yang's voice fell, immediately above Xiao Yang's body, the left half of his body was instantly covered by cyan scales, and a thick force emerged. Even a magnificent and boundless tyrant, the shadow of the soul, is looming behind her. Dong, dong, dong. The speed skyrocketed, and the whole world was eclipsed by a punch, but the two attacks in the valley were slowly annihilated. Xiao Yang and the golden crow trembled violently, and involuntarily retreated. After breathing, Xiao Yang spurted out a mouthful of blood, and the golden crow was completely shattered. Brother Xiao Yang, are you all right? Seeing Xiao Yang's situation, Zana lost her sense of restraint and rushed to Xiao Yang's side with a single stride, supporting Xiao Yang with an apologetic expression on her face. Zana and Xiao Yang had no guesses. She was naturally aware of Xiao Yang's pride, so she kept suppressing her strength, but she undoubtedly blamed herself for what she had just done. Hey, it's okay, I have to thank you, girl. Seeing this, Xiao Yang laughed loudly and crashed into the gentle village. What? Actually took the opportunity to break through the 7-star fighting immortal consummation. Brother Xiao Yang, you are cheating. A sweet and light voice sounded slowly, but more than that, it was a touch of relief. 7-star fighting immortal perfection level, plus a pharmacist at the pinnacle level of immortal rank 6, although this is not the exact strength of Xiao Yang, but if any of these two identities are taken out, I am afraid it is enough to overwhelm. Heroes. There is still one day left before the opening of the Medicine King City auction. Xiao Yang also successfully transformed the dragon god into the 4th transformation. After confirming that the medicine stone and the titan giant rock fragments were all right, he set up a few seals and barriers, and then slowly returned to his mansion. Nothing weird happened. The Medicine Clan Festival is the prosperous age of the entire Doyun continent. In order to show that the Medicine Clan holds the strongest alchemist in the entire Dodi continent, they will send out invitations every once in a while to summon heroes from all walks of life. Visiting the grand ceremony has also created a situation of overcrowding in the Yarawang city today. Due to the overcrowded situation in Medicine King City, the top officials of the Medicine Clan decided 1,000 years ago to hold an ancient auction before the ceremony of the Medicine Clan. The items auctioned at the auction are all rare treasures from countless regions. They are only put up for auction after being identified and screened by the powerful medicine family. Each auction item has all kinds of unpredictable, terrifying powers. What's more, the medicinal pills that once had the holy rank were born here and sold at auctions, so the rare auction event in Medicine King City became an appetizer before the grand ceremony, and it also became countless. The object of looting by the strong. The Medicine Clan Festival is a tailor-made stage for pharmacists. Some heroes can only come to visit, but the auction is different. As long as you have enough financial resources, you can buy your favorite treasure. This is also every time. The reason why a medicinal clan festival can attract countless strong people to participate. After all, the auction in Medicine King City can be called the auction with the highest gold content in the entire Doyun continent. It is as arrogant as the pride of the ancient race of Medicine Clan, plus the lofty status of Medicine Clan alchemist, some broken copper and rotten iron. Medicine Clan naturally won't take it out for auction, so the auctions in Medicine King City must be high-quality goods. A day passed slowly. The night was silent, everything slowly fell into a coma, meteors flickered in the sky of Medicine King City, and the slightest cold wind was extremely cold. Brother Xiao Yang, the Medicine Clan guards sent someone to send the invitation and serial number for tomorrow's auction. We are number 77. Zana gently opened the door, walking lightly, holding a beautiful scroll in her hand, coming uninvited. When I came back yesterday, in order not to disturb Xiao Yang to stabilize his Qixing Dozian's perfect power, Zana did not disturb Xiao Yang too much. Now, as Xiao Yang's aura has stabilized, he naturally sneaked into Xiao Yang's house to relieve his lovesickness. Suffering. Auction, it's really a headache. Xiao Yang got up, smiled at Zana, and immediately put his arms around Zana's waist. This time the auction will be auctioned on site. The auction location is in the core auction pavilion of Medicine King City, and there are no private rooms along the way. It seems that all the powerhouses who participated in the auction are on the stage of the auction pavilion, and auctions are conducted by way of bidding. Furthermore, you must show your true face, and you must not wear any hats, robes, etc. Zuna, like a docile bird, slowly leaned against Xiao Yang's chest and told Xiao Yang the news she had learned. It really is an auction method that reduces complexity to simplicity. Xiao Yang nodded as if he had thought of something. But brother Xiao Yang, Yaozu's actions are not afraid of revealing the identity of the bidders. After all, for the sake of treasures, I'm afraid many people will do some shady deeds. Zuna shook her little head and said quite suspiciously, "In my opinion, this is the intention of the Yarrow clan, because they are demonstrating against other strong men. In the area of their Yarrow clan, if they don't have the strength of reincarnation and want to do something that kills people, I am afraid that the Yarrow clan will kill those guys in the cradle in an instant." Xiao Yang said. Brother Xiao Yang is still smart. Zuna said with longing. Okay, rest early and go to this rare auction tomorrow. After a night of silence, it was the next day when the auction started. As time passed, the much-anticipated auction in Medicine King City started slowly. The front is the entrance to the auction pavilion. At this time, Xiao Yang and Zuna, dressed in casual clothes, walked through the crowded street, looking at a magnificent silver building not far away. Zuna smiled sweetly. However, the two of them still underestimated the attractiveness of the auction. The street here is already surrounded by water, and there are probably tens of thousands of people, but there are very few people who can successfully enter the auction pavilion. At first glance, the auction pavilion looks like a bronze tripod, with extremely terrifying power flashing all over its body, and at the door, dozens of middle-aged men in grey clothes with the word medicine stand in an orderly manner, their bodies slowly overflowing. The breath is as unfathomable as the abyss, involuntarily giving the outside crowd a long-lost depression. Please show your admission card. A burly man said solemnly, and strictly checked the strong men who entered the auction pavilion. Identity confirmation, your distinguished pharmacist, please come inside. After some inspection, the guards couldn't help but respectfully said. Without stopping too much, the two walked straight to the interior of the auction house on the red carpet. Today's auction pavilion obviously has only one huge auction room, and the auction pavilion is surrounded by elites from the Medicine clan, and some people with bad intentions cannot break through such a terrifying defense. After taking their breaths, a door of light appeared in front of the two of them, and they went through the door of light, and the spacious and bright auction hall just came into Xiao Yang's sight. However, before Xiao Yang could open his eyes and look around, his eyes were filled with black heads, and one after another of powerful powerhouses, accompanied by bursts of noise, slowly resounded throughout the auction hall. The auction hall, the Medicine King City, is quite a huge building. The entire station is like an ancient battlefield. With the auction platform at the center as the core, the surrounding is like a circular spiral staircase. From the bottom to the top there are a total of 8 rows. A single row can accommodate more than 100 people, but now there are nearly 10,000 people gathered here. Everyone's eyes are hot, and their voices are quite noisy discussing what rare treasures will appear in this auction. Nearly 10,000 people competed for it. I am afraid that this auction will appear to be more tyrannical than ever before. Brother Xiao Yang, our position is in the front, close to the auction table. Zuna directly took Xiao Yang's hand, walked slightly, and came directly to the second row. The first 3 rows in front of the auction hall have excellent sightlines, and the gaps in the 3 rows are huge. One row can only accommodate dozens of people, but those who can sit in these positions are the real powerhouses of one party, or someone with extraordinary talent. Obviously, in this auction, nearly 100 people in the first 3 rows will become the core of the auction competition. Of course, some guys who pretend to be pigs and eat tigers are hidden behind the crowd. At this moment, the event of the auction is slowly kicking off. Wong buzzing. At this time, in the auction hall, people came and went, and there were strong people pouring in. Obviously, this auction gathered many forces, and at this time, except for the strong people in the first few rows, the hall was quiet. Closing his eyes, he slowly sat outside, and there was a lot of noise behind him. This is undoubtedly a kind of contempt and arrogance. After all, the power behind the strong people sitting in the first 3 rows is already at the top of the pyramid of Doyun continent. The Yang clan, the Thunder clan, the other 6 ancient clans, except your ancient clan, are all here. Xiao Yang glanced at the front of the auction hall. On a seat not far from him, a well-known big man slowly emerged. The ancient races all have their own iconic symbols. In addition to some rules of the Yaozu for auctions, they cannot disguise and cover their faces, so it is easy to be recognized by others. If you have a chance, let's communicate with them. Although these guys may have a lot of connections with my ancestors of the Xiao family, I always feel that Xu Shao's forbidden technique is not easy. Xiao Yang underestimated in his heart. Thinking of Xu Shao's forbidden technique, he couldn't help but feel numb in his scalp. In addition to the ancient 5 clans, there are also some forces whose status and strength are only second only to the ancient clans, such as the CS sect, Wanchuan village, etc. that we encountered earlier. These guys are all led by the strong in their respective forces, bringing the younger generation of the clan to participate in the Medicine Clan festival. I am afraid that there is something in this auction that makes them inevitable. Zuna nodded. He immediately whispered in Xiao Yang's ear and said, obviously even with Zuna's current terrifying strength, when facing some old people around him, he still felt a sense of powerlessness. CS sect, is it very strong? Xiao Yang looked at an old man in grey with his eyes closed and rested beside Shen Hong in the distance, and said softly, the CS sect's overall strength may not be strong, but their sect is rich in refining pharmacists, and they are vaguely similar to the pharmacists. And it is said that Shen Hong is the leader of the younger generation in the sect, and has vaguely touched the level of the 7th rank. Besides that, the 6 ancient clans, including the Yarrow clan, should not be underestimated. Regardless of their background or even their strength, they will probably become an obstacle for Brother Xiao Yang to shine at the grand ceremony. But I believe in Brother Xiao Yang. Zuna said softly, as if there was no worry. The unreserved trust made Xiao Yang feel more comfortable. After the rest, the two also quieted down, and immediately waited for the opening of the auction. This noisy sound didn't last long, and suddenly an ethereal bird slowly took off from the auction table, and a crisp and pleasant bell rang slowly. Under the sound of this snow-white ethereal bird, the noise in the entire auction hall stopped abruptly. They slowly sat up, gearing up, their fiery eyes locked on the auction table, as if there was no gunpowder smoke. The battle is about to begin. With a sound, the ethereal bird flashed all over, and suddenly turned into a bright glow. Amidst the glow, a beautiful and colorful woman slowly appeared. The woman's jade hips are round and have a very attractive beauty, and the small waist is quite slender, even if it is called the waist of a water snake. The breath spread out, and 3,000 blue silks fell like a waterfall, adding countless mysteries to it. At this moment, she just appeared, her jade body swayed gently, her light footsteps moved again and again, her figure was as graceful as a lotus flower, and her laughter was more like a lark. A beauty of this level is enough to be called a beauty, a disaster for the water, a disaster for the country and the people, but because this is in the auction of the Medicine Clan, the strong people in the scene do not dare to have other evil thoughts. The woman's elegant and easygoing high-heeled crystal shoes, a tight-fitting professional suit close to the skin, the heels lightly touched the floor of the auction platform, and a harsh sound rang out, making the whole auction the last trace of noise. The sound fades away. Welcome to the Medicine King City Auction. In the medicine cloud of the Xia Yarrow family, this auction will be presided over by me. The magnetic moving voice slowly came out, and it had a unique flavor in the auction hall. It's actually a medicine cloud. It is said that this guy is a genuine 8-star fighting immortal powerhouse, and a 7th grade immortal level pharmacist with extremely terrifying medicine refining skills. His position in the medicine clan is only a few people who can beat her. It's actually hosted by such a genius. Could it be that the items auctioned in this auction are unparalleled in the world? Looking at the seductive figure like a fairy on the auction table, the silence below continued for a while, and then a whisper suddenly emerged. What about medicine clouds? This girl is one of the most important targets in the medicine clan. She was born here in just 100 years, and her strength and refining technology have made breakthroughs at the same time, making many elders in the clan envied. It is rumored that it has been determined that he will be able to step into the profession of a saint-level pharmacist. Yarrow Yun has been hidden by the Yarrow clan for hundreds of years. This time, she will personally preside over it. I am afraid it is because the Yarrow clan wants to show the power of their race. After Shurenshi, some of the prominent figures in the first 3 rows slowly slowed down. Whispering reveals some information that is difficult for ordinary people to understand. This auction, in order to ensure the uniqueness of the auction items, our medicine family has never released any rumors in advance. There are a total of 5 rare treasures in this auction. Please wait and see. Yarrow Yunmai said slowly after looking around. 5 pieces. It seems that there will be a ***** storm again. After listening to Yao Yun's words, the strong person in the scene nodded slowly, and his body couldn't help but become hot. The pharmacist auction is extremely strict with the confidentiality measures for the auction items. They will not spend any time and energy to promote it. Because of their arrogance as an ancient race, coupled with their identity as alchemists, they can appear in the auction every time. The items in it are all top choices. Everyone, don't be impatient. It seems that everyone is impatient, so I won't say anything annoying. I announce that the once-in-a-100-year auction of the Medicine Clan starts now. A friendly reminder, this auction will be the most solemn since our auction. I wish you good luck. After Yaoyun finished speaking, a dazzling crystal platform in the auction platform suddenly disappeared from the auction. Protruding above the ground, a delicate auction hammer and crystal table enveloped her slender curves. Is it finally going to start? Watching this scene, the atmosphere at the scene became hot. In the huge auction hall with nearly 10,000 people, everyone's eyes were hot, and the corners of their dry mouths were slowly licking, and they couldn't help but look forward to it. Stand up. I don't know how shocking the so-called 5 rare treasures will be at this auction. This video will end here.